Good morning students, how are you? In the previous video, I have shown you the two characters. I introduced you that Bujo and Pahili, who will be always with you throughout the journey of the syllabus. Now in today's video, I want to, before going to start our lesson, I want to introduce the contents of the syllabus. Here in our 8th standard syllabus, the syllabus contents are like this. First chapter is crop production and management. Second is microorganism, friend and foe. Third is synthetic fibers and plastic. Fourth is materials, metals and non-metals. Fifth one is coal and petroleum. Sixth is combustion and flame. Seventh number, conservation of plants and animals. Eighth number, structure and function of the cell. Ninth number, reproduction in animals. Then 10th, reaching the age of adolescence. Afterwards, 11th number, force and pressure. 12th, friction. 13th, sound. 14th, chemical effects of electric current. 15th number, some natural phenomena. 16th number, light. 17th, stars and the solar system. And 18th chapter is pollution of air and water. My dear students, till 7th standard you were depending upon the question answer, internal question answer and exercise which are given after each lesson or the chapter. But from this year you have to go through the textbook, because there is no any pattern or the criteria for the question answer for the exam. So line to line you have to read the textbook, and whatever the points or important things are given, you have to underline and study, because it is not necessary that the exercises which are given after each chapter same question will be asked for the paper. Okay, so make sure that you have to go through the textbook for all type of question answer, maybe short, very short or the long. Okay, so here today we are going to start our syllabus. The first chapter is the crop production and the management. So see the first paragraph. Paheli and Bujo went to their uncle's house during summer vacation. As you are going in the holidays to your grandparents' house, so Paheli and Bujo also went to their uncle's house during the summer vacation. Their uncle is a farmer, and one day they saw some tools like khurpi, sickle, shovel, plow, etc. in the field. So here the new words are there. You can underline it. Khurpi, sickle, shovel, plow. These are the tools which are used in the field for the farming. Okay. So Paheli and Bujo went in the field, so they have seen this type of tools which were present in the field. Okay, so here khurpi means what? It is like a T cross shape, and which is used to remove the unwanted plants nearby crops like weeds. Okay, sickle means it is used for cutting the crops, like in our language we called it like veda or paushi something. And shovel means phawda, you know that. Plow means hull, or in Marathi it is called nangar. So these are the tools they have seen in the field. You can underline these tools, because sometime very short question may be asked. Write the 2 or 3 examples of the tools which are used in the agriculture field. So underline it. Now see, Bujo have one doubt in his mind. I want to know where and how use these tools. Of course, these are the small tools which are used in the agriculture field. Now the next paragraph, you have learned that all living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves. Can you recall how green plants synthesize their own food? See, from our first standard onwards, we are studying that the green plants are called autotrophs, or they are also called the producers. Why they are called producers? Because they are the first member of the food chain. They can prepare their own food, and that's why they are called autotrophs also. Auto means self-dependent. They can make their own food themselves. Okay, and plants make their own food with the help of water, sunlight, carbon dioxide and soil. Okay, and this phenomenon is called photosynthesis that we have studied in previous chapter. So can you recall how green plants synthesize their own food? Of course, green plants can synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Animals including humans cannot make their own food because we are the consumers. Consumers means which consume food from others, जो दूसरों से खाना लेते हैं. Producers, consumers, these are the two opposite words. Plants are producers and we are depending on the plants for the food. That's why the human beings and other animals are the consumers, or they are also called the heterotrophs. So animals including humans cannot make their own food. So where do animals get their food from? Of course, we are getting our food from plant sources as well as animal sources. But the first of all, why do we have to eat food? This is very general questions which you studied before this class also. You already know that the energy from food is utilized by organism for carrying out their various body functions such as digestion, respiration and excretion. We get our food from plants or animals or both. Means the plants and animals are the main sources of food, and this food gives us energy, and this energy will be used by the organism like us human beings or other animals to carry out the life processes. This digestion, respiration, excretion, these are what? Life processes. And to carry out these life processes, we need energy, and that energy comes from the food. That's why we are eating food. Okay, now Buju have one doubt again in his mind. Since we all need food, how can we provide food to a large number of people in our country? See, ऐसे कहावत है ना, जितने मुंह उतना खाना लगेगा. So Buju have one question in his mind that since we all need food, how can we provide food to a large number of people in our country? So see, Paheli is giving answer. Food has to be produced on a large scale. Okay, means जितने मुंह उतना खाना लगेगा तो उतना ज़्यादा उसका प्रोडक्शन भी चाहिए. So that's why we need to produce food on a large scale. It means big quantity, more quantity. In order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management and distribution of food is necessary. To provide food for all the living beings, so regular production of the food, proper management and distribution of food is very important, necessary. Okay, and for this purpose farming is must or required. Now here one small box is given about the agricultural practices. Till 10,000 BC, people were nomadic. They were wandering in groups from place to place in search of food and shelter. Till 10,000 BC, people were nomadic. Nomadic means what? They were not stable at one place. जो भटकी जमात बोलते हैं ना, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे घूमने वाले लोग, they were nomadics, and that's why they were wandering, moving from one place to another in the groups in search of food and shelter. So they ate raw fruits and vegetables and started hunting for the animals for food. As you have studied in previous chapter, means previous classes in history and other things, that ancient people, the old peoples, they were eating the raw fruits whatever the available, because cooking method was not developed that time, and they were eating raw vegetables also. They were killing and hunting the animals for their food. Later they could cultivate the land and produce rice, wheat and other food crops. Thus was born the agriculture. Means after some time they stabilized at one place, and afterwards slowly the production and the cultivation of the crops started, and they produced such type of pulses, vegetables, rice, wheats and other things for their production. Okay, and in this way the agriculture born. Now here we will move to the next paragraph. When plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called crop. You can underline it because sometime small question may be asked that what is crop or define crop. with the example. So once again I am repeating here, when plants of the same kind, see same kind means only one kind of crop, are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale, then it is called crop. Underline it. See, for example, crop of wheat means all the plants grown in the field are that of wheat only. So in such a way that rice means a paddy, wheat, jawar, bajra, these kinds of crops can be cultivated. But in that field only same kind of crops will be grown. Suppose wheat, so wheat, all the plants are of wheat only. Suppose the paddy, so all the kinds of all the plants are of paddies, means rice only. Okay, so this is the definition of that what is crop or define the crop. So it may be asked for the paper, so you can underline it with the example. Now here we will move to the next paragraph. You already know that the crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables and fruits. This can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. As you know, the all type of crops will not be grown in the same season. They need different kinds of climatic conditions. So that's why the cereals, vegetables and fruits, these are grown in different seasons. Okay, and depending on the seasons, there will be the variety of the crops. Okay, India is a vast country. The climatic conditions are like temperature, humidity and rainfall vary from one region to another. Our India is a vast country. It is a very big country, and the climatic conditions of all different kinds of states means there are some factors like temperature, humidity, rainfall. This is vary different from region to region. So example, suppose in Maharashtra, if you will compare the Jammu Kashmir, then in their northern side or southern sides, the climatic conditions are different according to states to state, and that's why depending on these physical factors, temperature, humidity, rainfall, there will be the variety of cereals, vegetables, fruits and other types crops also. Okay, so accordingly there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of the country. Now you understood why the different kinds of crops grown in different areas depending upon the climatic elements such as temperature, rainfall, humidity. Despite the diversity, the two broad cropping patterns can be identified, and these are kharif crop and rabi crop. Though the climatic conditions and other factors are means vary according to the geographical areas, but the cropping patterns are mainly categorized into two types, kharif crop and rabi crop. So let us start. Kharif crop, what is meant by kharif crop? Here I want to notice one thing, that sometimes it may be asked as a definition, the what are kharif crops, or define kharif crops with the example, or sometime both can be asked as a differentiate between. So you underline it. Okay, so take your pencil with you, write about the kharif crops. Underline kharif crops, the crops which are sown in the rainy season. See, the crops which are sown in the rainy season are called kharif crops. Underline it. And the rainy season in India is generally from June to September. And the examples of the crops which are grown in kharif season, that is paddy means rice, maize, soya bean, groundnut, cotton, etc. These are the example of kharif crops. You can underline 2-3 example also. Now rabi crops. Rabi crops means what? The crops which are grown in the winter season, they are called rabi crops. You can underline it. Once again, the crops which are grown in winter season are called rabi crops, and their time period is generally from October to March. And the examples of the rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. Linseed means what? Javas जिसको बोलते हैं. Okay, so mostly these crops are grown in the winter season, and that's why they comes in rabi crops. Okay, now you understood the rabi crop and kharif crop. Are you able to write the differentiate between? Okay, so here I am going to finish the first video. The next video will be of this basic practices of crop production, that will be begin in the next video. Thank you.